Hello, hello, hello.
I'm going to hit record. Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Tech Tuesday. I'm going to keep this pretty much of an open mic because I'd like everybody else's feedback as well. So, Dom, well done on getting somebody new started. And I had a very interesting chat a little bit earlier this afternoon. Um, I was running around as I always do and heading up to the hospital, and there were a couple of my patients sitting outside. Well, not really my patients as such, but yeah, there were a couple of patients sitting outside and a young nurse. And very interested to see that we finally, at last, are having new nursing students coming through. A lot of them are looking very nervous, and I don't know how far they'll get in their career, but I'm very pleased to see that we've got a whole lot of new nurses, both male and female nurses, coming on board, which is brilliant. Anyway, these are three young guys, and I would say they are all middle 20s, going upward to late 20, early 30. One of whom is a teacher, and they were getting bored, so they decided I should probably get bored as well, and they stopped and chatted. And that's always a dangerous thing for me to do. But anyway, I was able to get the conversation to work around, and I didn't even have to do a lot of work on that. And that's what got me thinking about who do we talk to? How do we approach people? And what these guys were telling me was very interesting. Obviously, they're all from different backgrounds and lifestyles and all the rest. And I said the one is a teacher, the one is this
Okay.
brand new, yeah, that's what I thought too. One is a brand new nurse who is basically first year nursing, and the other one was a patient who got injured. Um, not, yeah, nothing major, but they were injured, which is why they're in hospital. But they're well enough that they can go and stand outside. Um, and we got chatting, and they were asking me about my career and what I do, and I was telling them a little bit about that. And then we got chatting about their individual careers as well. And the teacher was saying, yeah, maybe we need to have a look at going into your career. I said, I wouldn't do that because there's no money in it. And you say, well, what do you call money? And then he went on to tell me what his salary is, which is very low, plus the benefits, which benefits are okay, but it's still for what you're doing is very low. And that is sort of the life that they can look forward to. And the comment was that government jobs are very few and far between. Now, government jobs are obviously the key for everybody at the moment because they come with all the benefits. However, when you have 150,000 people looking for three jobs, the competition is a little tough. So, what do people do? What future do these guys have to look forward to? Now, I do know a little bit about nursing, about teaching. Jenny can fill me in a lot more. Most people look at it as it's a morning's only job and you get 4 holidays a year. Is that correct, Jenny?
Do you really want to know about teaching? No, thank you, not for me. You can have it.
Yeah, in my opinion, you've got to be extremely brave to do that these days. But it's good that we've got dedicated people who are there, who are able to teach. But at the
Yeah,
end of the day,
I had the easy one. I did it from home.
there we go.
It was a lot easier
Much.
instead
But
of being in a school.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
in this business that we are doing, we are all teachers. And I did make a comment earlier that there appears to be, in my opinion, a big difference between educators and teachers. We have a lot of educators out there, not that many teachers. And a teacher is somebody who can make a topic interesting. And during the course of my talk, I suggested to these guys to go and hunt down, and I'll suggest to everybody over here too, if you have not watched it already, maybe it's good to watch it again. If you've ever watched the movie called Pay It Forward, Pay It Forward is pretty much what we do. Fascinating movie, a little bit older now, but it's been around for a while. But a fascinating movie. And that is exactly what we are doing. We are paying forward what we have learnt. And my suggestion to these young guys, to all of them, was to go into personal development. Again, this is what we do, because innocently managed to drop into the conversation that what I do during the day is not what I'm doing for the rest of my life, because I've got a part-time business. And they said, "Oh, what's that?" So I told them. And I didn't get into everything, but I said, I do network marketing. Don't be scared to tell people that you do network marketing. Network marketing at one stage had a very bad rap. And in some circles, you will still get people who go, yeah, it's one of those things. But they don't understand exactly what it is. And sadly, and I think that's part of the problem, and please, if anybody wants to correct me, I'd love to know, listen to that correction, and let's share ideas. But network marketing is something that anybody can do. And I told these guys about Charlie because they were also, oh, we need to study this and we need to study that. And how far can you get? What's your salaries? And I said, my team leader has a standard 6 education. He's dyslexic. And on a bad month, he's earning in the region of about 2.5 million rand. And that, no matter who you talk to, almost instantly gets a jaw drop. He's earning how much? And he doesn't have any big doctorates or fancy qualifications. Or what is stopping anybody? And also, Charlie doesn't know how to operate a computer. He can sort of, he uses a cell phone for making phone calls. I use it for everything but. So we don't even need technology. Now, how many people is Charlie signing up every month? We don't even know. But I think if you ask him
Constantly.
Yeah, he's signing up a good probably 5, 6 people personally every month. Not his team, him personally. This is somebody who doesn't know how to use a computer. He doesn't do Zoom calls. Well, he does with a lot of assistance, but he doesn't do regular Zoom calls like this. He doesn't have any social media. In fact, I've never been able to find him on any social media. So he's not on LinkedIn. He's not on Facebook or any of these things where a lot of people go to look for prospects. So where does he find the prospects? And I'm going to ask all of us on this training as well, who do you speak to regarding the business, and how do you approach them? Do you just go straight in? Because this young guy's comment was, well, how do you do that? And I said, you talk to people and you ask them if they'd be open to looking at a way to earn some extra money. The question is it that simple? Is it that simple? What do you think, William?
I think it is and it isn't. Well, I've spoken to a few people, some friends, some family. I'm trying very much to leverage off social media and whatever tech that I can. I had a step backwards today because I created a Google business and I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I found this other Neolife website that I went to join, and then I realized that it's actually not a website. Or it's not the actual Neolife. It's a lady that has an extensive network. She's a platinum, whatever you call it. and she's actually created her own website,
Mhm.
and people join up on her website.
Yeah.
Looks very similar, but you can see it's not the website. So I'm trying to get it that I can show that website easily on the internet. If someone wants to Google Neolife and Pietermaritzburg or Neolife, and then it'll come up with my website, but I couldn't get it right. I need to practice a bit more. But
Yeah.
I
We'll
did
get
put
there.
it out on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
I put it on LinkedIn, and I put on, and my LinkedIn links to Facebook, and then I thought maybe I'm going to do a few YouTube demos
Mhm.
and just put them on my YouTube account. So I'm really going to try and
Mm.
be a bit creative with
And
it.
yeah,
And then, yeah, so that's what I'm doing anyway.
and do
But
yourself a
yeah, thank
favor.
you.
Don't mention Neolife because
Sorry?
don't mention Neolife.
Okay.
I tell you why, because exactly what happened to you now, you Googled
Mhm.
Neolife,
Yes.
found somebody else.
I Googled Neolife distributors, and
Mhm.
it came up with something called Health to You at Neolife,
Yeah.
something like that.
And this is exactly what happens is people, you tell them, this is the company I'm with, and that's what they do. And then they go and sign up under somebody else.
Yeah.
So you
No,
want them to
I've
talk
called
to,
my name something else,
yes,
and I just put myself as a distributor of vitamin supplements and cleaning products.
perfect. Yeah.
And then my website is linked there, but I just need to get a way to actually see it
Mhm.
when you Google it, because I Google the name, it doesn't even pop up.
We'll
So
get there, don't stress.
I've done something wrong, but
Good.
it's quite fun.
Mm.
I'm enjoying it because I love working on computers.
Yeah.
So
Which is perfect, and we'll get you there. So we'll play around with it. I'll look at it from my side as well.
because it's free, you
Mhm.
create a Google business for
Yeah.
free, and then you put in your all your details and office hours, all those kind of things, a little bit about yourself, and then it goes out onto the
Yeah.
directory. But yeah.
Okay, that's a start. That's good. Ansi, how do you find people?
Yeah, wherever I am, when you're chatting to people, excuse me, the secret is listen more than what you're talking, because you can shoot yourself in the foot. So once you start talking every day topic, doesn't matter, expensive, no money, sick and tired, all of those topics, then you can zoom in. But as you said, don't talk too much. Just give them an appetite so that they can think about it and ask some questions and get the contact number
Mhm. Perfect.
to build a relationship and take them for coffee.
Good. Dominique, how did you find your newest team member?
Sorry, I was busy with something while I was listening to you, and I knew it was coming up. Yeah, oh, no, he's going to call me just now.
Got
Oh my God. Sorry. I met her at a market last weekend.
Okay.
And she also sells natural stuff, but not at all our line. So she's already in natural things. She sells lion's mane and all that kind of thing. And we got chatting, and she's very open, and we were chatting, and she's lovely and so on. And we kind of like clicked straight away. And then she mentioned she has stage 2 breast cancer. So, and I said, oh, and what are you doing? And she says, no, well, she doesn't want to do treatments and all that. She wants to do things naturally. And I said, oh, yeah. So she told me about the things she wanted to do, and she wants to get into ivermectin and all that kind of thing. And we get chatting about it. And I said, I'm into this thing, and we got this product that's amazing for cancer. That's cancer program. It boosts up your good cells. So whatever program you're going to do to address your cancer, at least it won't kill your good cells as well, and that sort of thing. So we got chatting. She was very interested. She needs this. So we got chatting and whatever, and I had my list with me, so I took her out and I gave her a few details and whatever. And yeah, and then she went from there, and she wanted to. So that was Saturday. The market was Saturday and Sunday. It was Saturday, and so and then I had bought something with somebody else, and I had to go back on Sunday. And I phoned Jenny on Saturday, and I said to her, "Well, I'll pick you up tomorrow. We can go to the market just to do something and together and get out." And so I was going out with Jenny, and I was going out to change something with the other lady. And then I said to Jenny, "You got to meet this girl. She's amazing and all that." So we got chatting, you know. And then so Jenny organized the whole thing. She said, "No, no, no. She wants to get in there. She needs to get in. She's very chuffed and everything straight away." Because she's a bit in that line, she believes in it completely, you know. So it was great. So and then we organized to meet at Jenny's today, and there she was, and she just, you know, I wanted to give her the best prices instead of just a Fighter Defense. I tend to give Fighter Defense at my price because people already have a lot of expenses doing chemo and all that kind of thing, and so I'm a softie that way. But she wanted it. Jenny had told her about the tree, and then she wanted the tree, and then as well, da, da, da. And we kept saying, you know, like I said, I'll check the prices at home, and then I came back to Jenny and I said, you know what? It's much better if you get your the thing, and then if you to get your tree, and then with the kit. So when we explained all that to her, she joined it. She thought, yeah, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Now she sees how it goes and whatever. And there we go. Filled in the form. She did it. She paid me and everything. I'm going to go fetch her kit tomorrow. And then she's going to do a market somewhere in Durban or from Sri Lanka, somewhere, I don't know, Balito, I don't know where she said. I will meet her after lunch to Wish in Kloof to do her kit and all that kind of thing. She's all in. It's amazing. She's lovely.
Perfect.
And she's into health
Well
stuff,
done.
which is perfect, you know. Yeah, and I met somebody else the other day. I went to a pharmacy that I don't normally go to, that I used to. I haven't been there for a long time, just because I was on the spot there, and I thought, oh, I'll go and get the stuff there instead of Checkers, instead of Discam. And the little pharmacy, somebody said, no, but ask the pharmacy. So I got chatting to her about which one, blah, blah, blah. And we got chatting. She looks like a little Muslim lady, lovely thing, pretty girl, younger than me. She must be in her 30s or 40s or so, not even 40s, I think. And and she was saying, we were talking, I said, I don't normally take the meds because I like doing natural stuff. She said, yeah, she also does natural stuff. She works in the pharmacy. She's a pharmacist. But for her, she doesn't want to take meds, and for her kids. So we got chatting, and I said, I've got this. So I'm going to, after Jen today, I'm going to phone her. We've got each other. And she said to me, give me your phone number. I'd love to see you again and chat and everything. It would be nice, you know. So I said, well, let me know when, because now there's a coffee shop right down the road from where she works. I said, we can go sit there and chat. And I'm going to phone her and see if she wants to sit down, and so I can tell her about Neolife, you know. But that's it, just talking to people again, wherever we go, you know. Yeah. Okay.
Jenny, any tips from your side?
As you all know, rent a mouth. But basically, Jerry Basfield says one relationship at a time. But I do believe you have to be a product of your products. You know, I've had this major back surgery. People can't believe that I'm like where I'm at. And then word of mouth. For example, this big neighbor of mine, he's a very tall man. And he knows I'm a teacher, and he comes, he's like a child, and he said, I've got sore toes. So I said, do you have gout? Yes, I have gout. I said, come in. And I gave him a handful of Amiga. So now he's a customer. Then the lady, because this lady was interested in tree, and then my other neighbor, she's a teacher and understands she's also tired. My name is Holiday, you know. So, but I'm always got more relaxed. And so this other lady, I said, no. She's a teacher and she's got so much energy. So as she got out of her car, I said, come. And she gave her testimony to Dominique's download. Right.
Perfect.
And then all my neighbors know I'm a Neolife now. And then they come knocking on my door. I've got this and this and this. So now I'm learning to be more assertive in sharing the products, because these products really work.
They do.
And I could carry on all night, but I will say the end.
Yeah. And people are looking for that sort of thing. But more than that, I think, especially now with the fuel prices and everything, people are looking for that extra income. Debbie, John, what have been your experiences on that? Because I know you've got a lot more experience than the rest of us.
Yeah, well, we always chat to everybody. When we speak to people, we don't necessarily mention real life anything. We just chat and then John especially, just easy to chat to, so they just talk to them. And then I say, it's so nice speaking to you. I'd love to keep in touch with you later. And give me your number. She always does all day, whatever. Give me your number. But nowadays that we've retired and here, William, I don't know if you know that you've got your own website with Neolife.
Yes, I do. I just the website I'm linking it to. I need to link it to those Google business where you actually go onto your name and then it says their website link, and then you click the website and you go there.
Yeah, that's good. So you've linked the two. That'll be great.
Oh,
Because
thank you.
that website that they've got on Neolife is actually brilliant. It gives you
Yes.
the business, it gives you the compensation plan, it gives you products, it gives you all sorts of resources. I don't know if you've delved into it, but
I'm going to make the most of that.
No, we're not computer literate, not like Sean. We're very basic, and so it's something that we can all do. That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's just interested with. Here's our website. Go in and have a look.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a very good, instead of carrying a business card, just give them out your website. So
Yeah.
Charlie, even though he's a 5-diamond director, doesn't carry a business card. He carries a little notebook and he writes it out and he gives them the details, but that's about it. And yeah, William, I think you like me, we do technology more. So for me, it's easy just to send a link.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've now heard it's actually very simple. Now, what I suggested to these young guys today as well was that if they ever want to get ahead, is they need to study up on personal development. There were 3 different backgrounds. And the young nurse, I said to him, especially, and I gave him a few tips on how to deal with people, because he said, yeah, I got into nursing, but I actually don't like dealing with people. I said, well, I can very much identify. I don't like dealing with people either. But
Thanks. Thanks.
yeah, everything I've learned, I've actually learned from this business, because the teacher and the nurse both said, did you guys do any courses on on people skills? They don't do people skills. Now, what do teachers do and what do nurses do? They deal with people. And I know that from my profession. And I think it's pretty much all the professions, that, possibly with the exception of a counselor or a psychologist, I don't think any medical people, at least, those are the ones I'm familiar with, are taught on how to deal with people and how to talk to people. Yet, that is exactly what we do. So this business has taught me more about my work than my work has taught me about dealing with people. And we need to do that. So it's really just a matter of show an interest in people, strike up a conversation. Now, my biggest downfall, and I'll blame my father because I've got my father's genes, is that I can happily chat to somebody for 45 minutes to an hour. I have no idea what their name is. But I'm learning that one too. And often I don't even ask their name, but somewhere along the line it will pop up. And then from there you go. But in order to build, we've got to get people's names and numbers. And I know I'm very bad about doing that. But Jeff Altgebers, who's in a different business altogether, but it's also network marketing, when he talks to people, he has a very simple, basic little thing, and I'll go through that one again because I've done a talk on that before, but I'll do it again at some stage. But he's got a very simple, basic system that he uses, and it's a very simple, basic script as well, that he's memorized and that he can say anywhere, anytime to anybody. But what he asks him, and with today's technology, people are mostly on Facebook. So what he says to them is, it's been great chatting to you. Are you on Facebook? And 99% of the time they say yes. And he says, great. Would you mind if I friend you? And they say, sure, no problem. So he's still talking to them. He pulls up his Facebook. He says, okay, where are you on Facebook? Is this you? Yes. Great. I'm sending you a friend request. You don't need a number because now you've got access to their Facebook. You can see their life, their lifestyle, their history in most cases, and you've got direct access to them through Messenger. One of my neighbors in my very street over here, I've got his cell number, but he doesn't like talking on the phone. He's quite a shy person. And when he needs to contact me, he contacts me on Facebook Messenger, not the cell phone. So it's another way of getting to know people. Simply, so it's been great chatting to you. Instead of taking their phone number, are you on Facebook? Because Facebook, if used correctly, and that is the key term over here, if used correctly, is a powerful tool. Because if you've got a person's cell number, they could very well, if they haven't saved your number, treat you as spam and block you. Now you don't know how to get hold of them. But if you've spoken and you said, I'm sending you a friend request, you're there talking to each other. They're going to say, yes, I'll accept your friend request. And now you've got access to them and their friends. And you've got access to them through Messenger. You can always get their phone number later and build up the relationship that way. But from a technology perspective, that's one of the ways of doing it. You can, if you want to, also get their Instagram page, but most people, those two things are linked. And I know mine are linked. So what you post on Facebook goes onto Instagram and vice versa, because it's all falls under Meta. And so you can interlink from that perspective. But once you've established that connection and that friendship, then you can go further. And I know when Simon Chan interviews people on his show, MLM Nation, every single one of them, he asks, how do people get in touch with you? And almost invariably, and these are 6- and 7-figure earners, almost invariably they'll say, well, I'm more active on this one, but you can get hold of me on that one. Very few of them actually use a website. They've all got a website, but very few of them use that. They've either got email, or they've got Facebook, or they've got Instagram, or they've got LinkedIn, or all of those. And that's how they interact with new people as well as team members. So that's just a little suggestion, because especially we need to be dealing with young people. When Charlie started, he was 32, I think it was, and Alta was 27. So that's the sort of age group that we need to be targeting now. We're all young at heart, but sadly we are all getting older. And for this business to thrive, look at the Mozambican team, look at the Namibian team. How many old people are in there? Not that many. They're all youngsters. And the youth are absolutely exploding. And because they are more social media savvy, they are able to expand their network much broader. Whether you're on Facebook or not is beside the point. The basic principle is exactly the same. With me, I'm restricted to my little area and I'm running around the hospitals all the time, and ethics won't allow me to actually talk to patients, and occasionally I can talk to staff, but there's never a lot of time with that. And I tend to see the same people all the time. And unless you're out as a social butterfly, you probably are also fairly restricted to the people that you're seeing on a regular basis. But on Facebook, you're restricted to the world. And pretty much any country we want to do business in has Facebook. So that is where we need to start looking as well, because those are also the more tech savvy, the younger generation who we want to get in. And these people are worried because they've got a life ahead of them. They want to be healthy, but more importantly, they want to be financially free. And you will see a lot of people are no longer interested in jobs. There's actually a lot of jobs where they can't fill anymore because people don't want to be restricted to this 9 to 5 office nonsense. They want to travel the world, especially the youngsters. They want to travel the world, but that costs money. And we have the opportunity for them to be able to travel the world, work from phone, as Alan Blaine says. It's not a work from home, it's now a work from phone. We have a work from phone business. And young people are very keen and eager to do this. And we have that opportunity because you don't have to worry about clearing stock or anything. Our company does all of that for us. Right, we've got about 4 minutes left, so I'm going to cut the recording over here.